It looked like it's happening. Angel Reese is asking out of Chicago already.
Angel Reese officially puts the Chicago Sky on notice. We're not doing the same thing this offseason that we did last offseason. Stop bringing me bums to play with.
Angel Reese told the Chicago Tribune she won't settle for another mediocre season, demanding the Sky bring in the league's best. Bold, right? Except she's leading in turnovers despite missing games, struggles with layups, and just got suspended. Reese wants her teammates replaced, but maybe it's her the Sky should cut loose.
Stop bringing me these players. I want the best of the best. I want the upper echelon.
Angel Reese is fed up. She's tired of the losing. She's tired of being the gum on the bottom of the shoe of the league. She is fed up with the Chicago Sky, and it looks like Angel Reese wants out. It looks like she wants out.
Imagine demanding your teammates be replaced, only to become the one your franchise might dump. That's the corner Angel Reese backed into with her Chicago Tribune comments. She wasn't subtle either. Reese bluntly said she wouldn't settle for another year like this, insisting top talent was non-negotiable. Instead of a franchise star building with her team, she came off more like a brat, ready to gut her roster on record.
Let's see what Angel Reese had to say. I'm not settling for the same shit we did this year. Oh boy. Reese told the Tribune, we have to get good players. We have to get great players. That's a non-negotiable for me. I'm willing and wanting to play with the best. And however I can help to get the best here, that's what I'm going to do this offseason. So it's going to be very, very important this offseason to make sure we attract the best of the best, because we can't settle for what we have this year. Overhaul this roster.
That interview didn't just ruffle feathers. It reportedly enraged teammates and vets across the league. A locker room sit-down had to be called just to handle the fallout. That's not chemistry, that's damage control. Imagine being unproven, yet sparking a team meeting over your mouth. That's not leadership, it's dysfunction.
So it's stated multiple lead sources told Front Office Sports that the entire team has seen Angel Reese comments that teammates are unhappy with the direct attacks. A team meeting is planned at which players are expected to address Reese directly.
Of all her remarks, the harshest shot landed on Courtney Vandersloot. Despite Vandersloot being sidelined with an ACL injury, Reese brushed her off as too old for the Sky's future. That stung. Vandersloot isn't just any player. She's a champion, a veteran floor general, one of the best the league has ever seen. Dismissing her doesn't just insult Vandersloot, it alienates the vets who know she's earned every ounce of respect.
We can't rely on Courtney to come back at that age that she's at, Reese said. I know she'll be a great asset for us, but we can't rely on that. We need someone probably a little younger with some experience, somebody who's been playing the game and is willing to compete for a championship and has done it before. Courtney Vandersloot, by the way, two-time WNBA champion, 5-time All-Star, 2-time All-WNBA first team, left the New York Liberty, a championship caliber team, to come help out the Chicago.
Here's the kicker. The Chicago front office had already bent over backwards for Reese. They traded Sonia Citron, who's in the Rookie of the Year hunt and already an all-star, to snag Ariel Atkins. That move was meant to give Reese the proven talent she demanded. Instead of gratitude, she acted like the roster and staff were never enough. You can't cry about the front office not trying when they gave up a potential franchise cornerstone just for you.
It is looking spooky in Chicago. Instead, Reese said she doesn't believe her teammates Rachel Berman or Haley Van Lith are capable of leading them to the leading the playoff team. Guard Ariel Atkins is another player on the Sky roster with WNBA championship experience. We are aware of it, Marsh stated. We are addressing it.
It would have been bad enough if Reese only targeted veterans. But she didn't stop there. Even young players like Haley Van Lith caught shade as if the whole team was too old, mid, or soft. Veterans felt insulted, younger players dismissed, and the locker room's glue became the enemy. Reese aimed for a rally. She turned the frustration back on herself.
We need great players, and I don't know what that will attract that. Maybe the practice facility will attract that. We'll see. But I think the priority is being able to convince free agents that this is an organization that is going in the right direction. I think, honestly, it would be a leap of faith for a great player to come here and show that this is something that they want to be a part of, and we can bring that championship mentality. A leap of faith to think that a great player would want to come to Chicago.
And looking at her on-court impact, it's easy to see why this power play backfired. If you put yourself above the roster, you better dominate. Instead, Reese was out of sync, clashing with the system she wanted to reshape. Her vision ended up exposing a harsh truth. The problem might not be the roster, it might be Reese herself. The sting? While demanding upgrades, she couldn't even do the basics, like holding on to the ball.
Hey, it's not all her fault. Her teammates stink. They gotta catch that, right? Right! Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Scooby, put down the butter. Butter pecan! Bang! Time of the year's the best. You got pumpkin spice football and Angel Reese layups. Bang! Final play of the game, Angel Reese clutch Gene. Womp, womp, womp. That's my Barbie.
What if the player demanding a roster overhaul was the one holding the team back? That's Angel Reese. On paper, she posts 14 to 15 points and double-digit rebounds. Looks solid. But dig deeper, she's leading the WNBA in turnovers, even after missing weeks to injury. She played less than most stars, yet gave the ball away more than anyone. That's not dominance, that's careless basketball.
For you, 20% of the time, Angel Reese gets her shot blocked inside of 9 feet. And 100% of the time, she's doggy doo-doo. Burn! Give it to the lady in orange. Uh-oh, you're out. Simon didn't say. 101 turnovers in 26 games for our 2K cover. She's a stat stuffer. Bang! At least she always brings the boom. I'll see you tomorrow night. Bang!
Turnovers often happen when a player tries to force the action. But with Reese, it went deeper than mere hustle. Her miscues screamed impatience, sloppy decision-making, and a knack for melting under pressure. And if you thought that was all, think again. Discipline? Also a weak spot. Watching your supposed cornerstone constantly arguing with referees, losing her cool, and stacking technicals is a nightmare. Yet somehow, Reese blitzed past the limit, racking up her 8th technical foul of the season, an automatic 1-game suspension by league rules. The question now, is this a hiccup or a sign of something bigger brewing?
Now, I thought that hate was too strong of a word at the time. Angel Reese is damn sure jealous of Caitlin Clark. She's got a lot of anger. She has a lot of resentment towards the Great White Hope. But I thought the bitterness was professional. I thought Angel Reese was jealous because Caitlin Clark is a mainstream draw.
What occurs when a WNBA icon shifts from rivalry to hatred? Angel Reese's fiery TikTok has stunned fans and left her future in serious doubt. Could this destroy her career? And why is the league staying silent?
Hey, right there. There's the picture. And Angel Reese did in fact repost this on TikTok, it looks like. And share it. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Or are you kidding me?
The WNBA's silence only intensifies the backlash, leaving fans angry and bewildered. But there may be a hint of justice coming. Rumors indicate Tyler Marsh might be giving Angel Reese a suspension.
But Tyler Marsh, he immediately earned my respect yesterday.
Stay tuned as we dissect what Angel Reese reposted, the rule she might have breached, and why many fans think the league is showing bias. So what exactly did Angel Reese share that's causing such a stir?
Angel Reese reposted this to her TikTok account. I know the image is blurry and filled with grammatical and spelling errors. I'm honestly surprised that whoever posted this originally was able to spell the correctly. But the message, it says, White girl running from the fade.
Angel Reese's TikTok repost spread online like wildfire in a drought. The video featured Caitlin Clark and included the caption, "White girl running from the fade." In sports slang, that phrase means avoiding a fight or confrontation.
I'm assuming, though, that the racial connotation here is that Caitlin Clark is a scared white girl running away from the black woman. When the reality is, Caitlin Clark was just treating Angel Reese just like the rest of the WNBA audience is treating Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark walked away from the fight and treated Angel Reese like an afterthought.
Let's be honest. With Clark's face clearly shown, it seemed like more than simple trash talk. To many fans, it felt overly personal and needlessly aggressive, not just a fun dig between fierce competitors.
Reese or whatever I got told was Angel Reese about the white girl didn't want any of the fade or something like that. I thought it had to be a mistake. Somebody asked me about it and I said, no, surely to God she would not have even Angel Reese surely realizes not to repost something like that, right? Hell, I guess I was wrong.
Under the WNBA's rules, any content inciting violence or hate toward a player breaks the zero-tolerance hate speech policy. Reese's choice to repost the video sparked more than drama. It triggered widespread outrage. The timing made it worse. Clark's profile is soaring, and she's now a major force in women's basketball. But fans sensed animosity, not just competitive banter.
Talking about there's no room for hate, this and that and the other one, and you got a player that's blatantly advocating for violence against far and away your most popular player. All right, and bringing race into the situation.
Comments erupted, accusing Reese of encouraging violence, not spirited competition. One fan said, "This is crossing the line. We want to see rivalry, not threats." Another added, "You're supposed to be a role model, not someone who promotes this behavior."
Mutual respect has been replaced with disdain. And judging by Angel Reese's own TikTok account, it appears that it could be racially motivated.
The backlash didn't end in the comments. A sports podcast analyst said, "This isn't rivalry, it's a direct call for conflict." That response only escalated things. The debate shifted from whether Reese's post was edgy trash talk to whether it promoted something darker. People began to wonder if this was about basketball or something more troubling in the sport. The WNBA's silence made it worse. The league enforces strict social rules. Yet Reese's repost appeared to cross a line. Fans waited for action. None came. But when Fever fans were called out for racism, the league responded fast. That raised questions. Was Reese shielded due to fame? Was the league dodging race to avoid outrage? The silence made things feel more tense and unclear.
Right here, Angel Reese cries about racism that never happened, then goes on and reposts openly racist TikToks. This is why the WNBA is a joke and not only allows but encourages racism against white people.
Speculation spread fast. Some fans believed Reese's fame was protecting her from punishment, while others pointed out the WNBA had acted quickly in past cases. So why not this time? The league's silence spoke volumes, whether planned or not, leading people to wonder if the rules are applied fairly. To add fuel to the fire, even when Outkick's host voiced worries, the WNBA stayed silent.
My boy over at Outkick, Bobby Burack, who's a hell of a good journalist, did reach out to the WNBA. Right here, I asked the WNBA if they had a comment on Angel Reese's racist post on TikTok about Caitlin Clark. The league had no comment, nor would it address Reese suggesting she wants to fight Caitlin Clark. So much for, quote, zero tolerance for hate.
This controversy doesn't just damage Angel Reese's reputation, it shines a harsh light on the entire league. Women's basketball has worked hard to grow its fan base and gain respect, but drama like this can drive fans away. If rivalries become toxic and the league seems uneven, it's not only the players who suffer, it's the sport itself. Fans want honest competition and fair treatment, not personal attacks and favoritism. With the WNBA still silent, frustration only grows louder. The silence is causing a bigger problem than the original post. It leaves everyone wondering, is this a one-time error? Or is there a deeper issue in how the league manages its top stars?
And the WNBA is going after and lecturing Indiana Fever fans in this investigation? Are you trying to tell me Angel Reese is not going to get suspended for this, not going to get fined for this? Or is the WNBA too gutless to stand up against things like this, even if it is against a white woman?
All eyes are on the WNBA's silence. But what truly angers fans is the feeling of a double standard. The league has strict rules on hate speech and player behavior, yet this time, enforcement seems missing. The difference from past cases is impossible to overlook.
Angel Reese posted this on TikTok yesterday. Here we are, 24 hours later, and I have yet to see the WNBA launch an investigation. Well, that's strange. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Wasn't it last Thursday that the WNBA launched their No Space for Hate campaign?
The WNBA quickly rallied behind Brittany Griner within hours of her detention in Russia, releasing statements and launching social media campaigns in her support. That swift, firm response set a standard for how the league manages controversy, especially under intense scrutiny. So when Angel Reese's post blew up online and the league stayed silent, people took notice.
Sports fans are going to go after Brittany Griner over that. They're going to heckle her over that. I heard that yesterday and was like, are you kidding me? Fact, Brittany Griner got arrested in Russia for cannabis oil, which is illegal in Russia. You expect sports fans to not literally heckle her with that during a game? Have you ever been to a Raiders game, an Eagles game? You gotta be kidding me.
Fans claim that if any other player had shared this, fines or suspensions would have followed quickly. But Reese stays untouched, sparking rumors of favoritism. The irony is clear, especially from a league that frequently condemns hate. Some think the WNBA is shielding Reese due to her fame or the delicate racial issues involved.
She has gone viral, all right? She's gone viral over hot girls eat Arby's. Yeah. She was wearing this outfit, this arrangement into the Chicago Sky game. Of course, the Indiana Fever, I would like to say beat the brakes off the Sky, but really it felt like they underachieved a good bit.
Sophie Cunningham threw on an Arby's tee and accidentally nuked the WNBA news cycle. One slogan, one shirt, 800,000 sales. Bam. Curly fries are now beating courtside seats. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is somewhere silently fuming, wondering why her jersey isn't flying off shelves. What started as a joke just exposed the WNBA's real issue. One woman's raw, goofy charm dunked on the league's entire branding playbook. Sophie didn't wear the moment. She was the moment.
Sophie Cunningham's t-shirt became a marketing phenomenon. Sophie Cunningham currently plays for the Indiana Fever and has now become one of the most recognizable WNBA players. In her Barbie night, she pulled up wearing a shirt that said "Hot Girls Eat Arby's," and the internet lost it. But here's the real backstory. A few months earlier, Sophie posted a video rating Arby's. And that video was just her being authentic in herself. And that puppy went viral.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and give Arby's a solid 9 out of 10.
And following this, the phrase "Hot Girls Eat Arby's" started flying around. And it turns out that Arby's has been saying this since 2023.
The WNBA traded hoops for heat. Stats out, side eyes in. Drama's the new game, and Sophie Cunningham just lit it up. No dunk, just an Arby's tee, no filter, and all fries. Forget PR spins. She deep-fried the script and served it hotter than any buzzer beater.
We know somebody that has gotten ridiculously popular this year with the Indiana Fever. I made a prediction that she was going to be the second most popular player on this team by the end of the year. And then, of course, there was the big incident during the Connecticut Sun game. And by the end of that game, she was known as Caitlin Clark's enforcer, right? The one that's got her back. At times, it feels like the only one that's got her back. if I'm being quite honest.
She's not running plays, she's dropping truth bombs. No filters, no sparkle, just Sophie, curly fries, and chaos. While Angel Reese chases clout, Sophie's selling 800,000 shirts and torching the league's branding playbook. No gimmicks, just realness, and it's unstoppable.
Let's talk about Arby's. She is now on the Arby's payroll. Decided that it was a match made in roast beef heaven. Hot girls eat Arby's. No knock on Arby's, Sophie, but if you give Arby's 9 out of 10, I'll take you to Racks. I'll buy you some Racks, and I think you will find that hot girls probably eat Racks. Arby's has a new spokeswoman, and it just so happens to be Sophie Cunningham. Yeah, that's right. Sophie Cunningham, who took to her social media to discuss how much she enjoyed a trip that she made to Arby's.
Sophie Cunningham blew into the W like a gust of truth. Enough to shake the gloss right off. No staged hugs, no TikTok dances, no curated clicks. She's off-brand, off-script, and exactly what fans were secretly waiting for.
Sophie Cunningham has broken the internet in multiple ways over the last day. All right, the other day, before the Chicago Sky game, this Barbie, and let's be real, let's be honest. If you were going to cast somebody as Barbie, there's a good chance you'd take a long, hard look at Sophie Cunningham.
That's why people can't look away. In a league neck deep in performance art, Sophie just shows up. No wigs, no filter factory, no branding meetings, just hoops, honesty, and one strangely iconic Arby's shirt. Turns out, fans might actually want athletes who act like athletes. Shocking, right? What a concept.
Let's get it! Burn! Lack of awareness combined with a lack of ability to jump. Not great. Burn!
Me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow.
Yeah! Again! Do it for me. Me bow! Burn!
Caitlin Clark shook the W without playing nice. Aaliyah Boston crushes hype with facts. They don't chase clout, they are clout. And that's scary. Fans want real, but the league keeps choosing trends over toughness, slogans over skills. That gap? It's costing way more than clicks.
700,000 followers overnight. I don't know if you guys knew, she had like 300 or something less than 48 hours ago. Insane. The enforcer has arrived. And she even posted like twice since then, bro. She's totally taken it to a whole new level. Like, Caitlin Clark has a new star. This is like a new star in the WNBA. People ain't going to like it. People aren't going to like it. Trace Leches, you know what I'm saying? Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Lexi Hull, which, by the way, kind of was obsessed with her before she even came along.
The W's starting to look less like a league and more like a beauty pageant in sneakers. Points? Nah. It's all about selfies, subtweets, and whose nails sparkle courtside. And in the chaos, the real hoopers, the grinders, the pros, the ones who let the game talk, are getting completely drowned out.
So Caitlin Clark's teammate Sophie Cunningham's jersey has officially sold out on the Fever website. And this comes the same week as the chippy foul that led to some ejections at the end of the game. It was a bit of a revenge foul taken up for Caitlin Clark after a hard foul on the other end. And then immediately a petition online from the Caitlin Clark haters to have Sophie Cunningham removed from the WNBA. They're trying to get folks to sign it. They said what she displayed tonight was disgusting. And yeah, it was a hard foul, but now it has the Caitlin Clark fans rallying around her, buying up her jerseys to the point they've officially sold out. Fortunately for this petition, I think they just turned Sophie Cunningham into a new WNBA A-list superstar.
That's why Sophie's moment hit like a buzzer beater. It was real versus rehearsed. No character, no glam squad, just a tee, a smirk, and a whole vibe. And suddenly, you could hear the panic from players whose whole brand is attitude without stats. Sophie proved fans chase real faster than polished PR, and the visibility matters crowd awfully quiet when the spotlight didn't stick to their script.
And one thing I like about Sophie is that she's tough. So when Caitlin Clark last week, or not last week, a couple days ago, when Caitlin Clark got destroyed, her girl Sophie came to her defense, and this was the most beast mode thing that I've seen a woman do in WNBA history. Now, Sophie, who's my one of my favorites now, she's become one of my favorite WNBA players. I'm gonna watch her too, like I watch Caitlin. Look at what she did, and people may not say that this was in response or whatever the case may be, but I feel like Sophie is like, you want to play?
Sophie Cunningham is chaos with a jump shot and no off switch, but it's bigger than her. Fans aren't craving influencers and sneakers. They want the gritty, real ones. Sophie rose on hustle, honesty, and a splash of weird, not PR spin, and that's a problem for anyone who bet on fake.
To the arena yesterday, wearing that. There she is right there. Let's just bring this up. Over at Tater Report. There she is right there. Hot girls eat Arby's. I can only imagine, and I have no idea. I would assume this is some kind of sponsorship with Arby's, right? Right there. I don't know. The roast beef sandwich jokes just sort of write themselves at this point. And just like that, I want a cheddar melt.
A $12 Arby's tea. That's all it took. No campaign, no collab, just Sophie, a smile, and fan love that PR budgets can't buy. The game didn't change in a boardroom. It changed because real beats rehearsed. Sophie's selling 100,000 more while Angel Reese watches her merch collect dust.
New strategy, team. Angel, keep doing your part. Everyone else, go rebound her misses. Burr! She keeps missing layups at this rate. She's gonna be serving buttermilk pancakes at Denny's. Butter? Did somebody say butter? Butter pecan! Burr! At a certain point, you just got to applaud greatness. A rebound on her back? Are you kidding? Bang! Simon says, give me another pray-up. How about it? Bang! She really hit under the basket on a layup. Get this girl GPS. Bang! Everybody get up on your feet. It's time to meet and greet the most underpaid athlete. Bang!
Let's be real, this wasn't luck. Sophie didn't just randomly go viral in an Arby's tea. This was strategy in disguise. While half the league was busy TikToking and subtweeting, Sophie was out here playing 40 chess with curly fries and charm. No stunts, no faux vulnerability, just a slow burn that blew up. Now the playbook's flipped, and some players are scrambling because the old tricks just aren't cutting it anymore.
This is a fake one-sided rivalry. We got Angel Reese taking more shots at Caitlin Clark unnecessarily. You in Indiana having a great time partying. We see all the clips. Why can't you just do your thing? Why can't you just do your thing?
Angel Reese launched her shoe campaign during WNBA All-Star Weekend, aiming for the spotlight. But Caitlin Clark got injured, ticket prices crashed 48%, and interest vanished. Reese ended up performing for no one. Now we break down how it all went wrong.
But can Sarah Spain and the media stop going out there and saying that, the Caitlin Clark needs to do something to stop all this, when it is very clear this is a one-sided beef, and the one-sided beef is not from Caitlin Clark?
Everyone thought this All-Star Weekend would be the breakthrough for women's basketball. It was supposed to be Clark versus Reese in Indy, packed arenas, screaming fans, and record viewership that would finally force ESPN to care. It had all the makings of a Hollywood moment.
We do start our show, though, with unfortunate news out of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark announced today that she will miss both the three-point contest and the WNBA All-Star Game this upcoming weekend in Indiana after re-aggravating a groin injury in that final minute of Tuesday's win over the Connecticut Sun. Clark had missed 4 games and the Commissioner's Cup final with that groin injury earlier this month, and now will be out for this weekend's festivities, which really stinks for fans, but you know that if there was any way that she could be out.
Then came the shock. Clark's groin injury, announced days before the weekend. Everything unraveled. Fans had flown in just to see her. Hotels were packed, restaurants bracing for crowds. Sponsors banked on the Clark-Reese rivalry. Nike had drops ready. ESPN called it must-see TV.
It's a story we have been following throughout the past 2 days. Surrounds the superstar herself, Caitlin Clark, the WNBA star, the Indiana Fever star, Caitlin Clark. She's going to miss all the action on the court.
Clark's home state was set to be her stage. Indiana fans were ready to pack Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The hometown hero narrative was perfect, but once her injury hit social media, the hype collapsed, marketing wobbled, and the storyline vanished. The buzz just deflated.
Caitlin Clark gets hurt, and guess what? Your demand vanishes because people ain't going to pay up to see these athletes that are ungrateful that their sport's growing. People aren't paying up for that. And we are here, right here. The tickets for this game, for this All-Star game, they've dropped by 50%.
This wasn't just any injury. Clark brought casual fans and real attention to the WNBA. Without her, the league lost its main draw. What was a celebration became a reminder of fragile momentum. Everything hinged on her showing up, and when she didn't, the spotlight faded.
But when it comes to the vendors in the arena, the shops in the arena, they're not going to have the same amount of people patronize their business as they would if Caitlin Clark was there. The surrounding restaurants, the surrounding areas, the surrounding attractions, they're not going to have the same number of people patronize their business as they would if Caitlin Clark was healthy.
What was meant to be a celebration of women's basketball turned into a wake-up call for the league's growing pains. While Clark dealt with a real injury and left fans heartbroken, someone else saw a chance to grab the spotlight, turning the weekend into a personal stage.
Reebok, Angel Reese are taking shots at Caitlin Clark, using her as promo. Angel Reese, let's be clear here. Let's just be all the way clear here. Angel Reese is a solid basketball player. Angel Reese 100% has benefited from attaching herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn. Her podcast, the first 3 episodes, all the clips promoting was bringing up Caitlin Clark. It was bringing up Caitlin Clark in all of the promo. People wanted to know what she was going to say. She used Caitlin Clark as promo.
Now picture this, dropping your biggest marketing campaign in your rival's hometown while she's sidelined and can't even show up. That's what Angel Reese did with her I'm in Your City campaign during All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis. Her Reebok shoe launch came with bold billboards, aggressive social media, and a message that felt like a takeover in Clark's own backyard.
Angel Reese, I'm in your city. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. Post it on Instagram. There's about 15 fans there, and Reebok put up a board. You would expect Reebok to put up a board. Let's never forget that when let's never forget the gigantic Caitlin Clark Nike billboard in Chicago. Let's never forget that. So if Reebok didn't put up a board for Angel Reese,
the timing was either terrible or perfectly calculated, depending on your angle. Reese's team built the whole campaign around being in Indianapolis, fully aware it was Clark's home turf. This wasn't just a shoe launch, it was a statement dropped deep in rival territory.
Is you continue to take shots at her, and then when them shots get fired back, nobody likes it. We don't have no videos of Caitlin Clark really taking shots at Angel Reese. Look at what Angel Reese and Reebok are doing for views. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. This is promo they're doing in Indianapolis, where Caitlin Clark plays. That is a clear shot. It's a clear shot. Like I said, this is a fake rivalry. I think you've won one game versus Caitlin Clark. You've never won in Indiana at all. It's just like you continue to attach yourself to her at every turn and use her as promo.
Let's be real. Reese flooded social media with walk in your trap, take over your trap messaging, even backing it with Bankroll Fresh's take over your trap on her Instagram story. But with Clark sidelined, it came off like she was claiming a win by default. Social media didn't hold back. Some fans called it savvy marketing, but way more saw it as tone-deaf and classless. The reaction? A mix of light jabs and serious criticism, all focused on the questionable timing.
Caitlin Clark has never said a negative word about Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark has never said a negative word, or to be honest, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, she did show it by her actions. Show the buyer action. She didn't need to say, I'm taking over Chicago. She did, though, however, go and put up 31 and 12, set a career high with 12 assists, be the only player in the history of the WNBA ever to have 31 and 12 in a game. She did, in fact, do that and then try to hype up the Chicago crowd. So it's like, fair enough, you want to say, oh, Caitlin Clark did this, then show it with your actions. Go and win MVP. Go and win MVP. Don't just be like, this is my city. Don't just come in and be like, this is my city. You've never won a game. Has she won a game in Indiana? I don't think she's ever won a game in Indiana. I actually do not think she has won a pro game in Indiana.
Here's where it got interesting. Reese didn't back off when Clark's absence was confirmed. While other players showed respect and dialed down the competition, Reese pushed her campaign full throttle. The contrast was clear. Most All-Stars were there to celebrate the league. Reese, meanwhile, seemed focused on fueling a rivalry with someone who couldn't even suit up.
Now with Reebok she's using, this is nonstop. She has attached herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn, and she has benefited. Let's be clear here. Yes, she does receive backlash. She does receive negativity, but she has benefited greatly. She has made millions of dollars off of attaching herself to Caitlin Clark and using her to make her brand bigger.
What was meant as a bold flex looked like a win by default. Claiming someone's city while they're injured isn't competition, it's opportunism. One analyst called it a one-sided rivalry. Reese swung at the air while Clark faced real setbacks. The backlash, it showed in the numbers.
This is absolutely a one-sided rivalry. And we've got to say it like it is. Like, we can't say Caitlin needs to do this, Caitlin needs to do that. Let's be real. The only reason this is still a rivalry is because the other side of the rivalry won't stop it. And by the way, it is extremely beneficial for Angel Reese to be in this rivalry.
Want to see Clark's impact? Look at the numbers. Ticket prices crashed from $121 to $64, a 48% drop. It wasn't minor. The market shouted her value. TickPick had the game set for a $262 average until her injury. That record-setting hype? Gone, along with Reese's credibility.
And it's not just the on-court product that suffers without number 22, Caitlin Clark. The entire weekend's economic opportunities have felt the fallout. This was conveyed with a July 18th post from NBA Central that wrote, quote, "The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48%. From $121 a ticket to $64 a ticket after the news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing."
Clark's impact is superstar economics. When she missed games in May, ticket resale prices dropped 47% in DC and 71% in Chicago. Unheard of. Sponsors scrambled, WNBA packages sold out, arenas filled fast. But without Clark, all that planning felt shaky.
From $121 all the way down to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing. These are people saying, I'm done. I don't want to watch. Caitlin Clark's not. I bought tickets solely to watch Caitlin Clark in the All-Star game. I made accommodations solely to get to Indiana to watch Caitlin Clark in the All-Star game. She's injured. I have no interest in that anymore.
Clark's absence rippled far beyond the arena. Merch sales, concessions, and hotel bookings in Indy all took a hit. Local businesses had prepped for a tourism surge. Restaurants stocked up, hotels sold out. But without Clark, the crowds never came. It exposed the WNBA's dependence on one player. Having a star like her is a massive boost, but it's also risky. When she's out, the whole structure shakes. No other WNBA player moves the needle like Caitlin Clark.
Angel Reese picking up right where she left off, breaking more WNBA records, but unfortunately for Sky fans, it came in the form of a loss, 99-74.
Angel Reese just made WNBA history, though probably not the kind she was hoping for. In a game against the New York Liberty, the Chicago Sky forward went 0 for 8 from the field, failing to score a single basket. It marked the most painfully unforgettable and undeniably hilarious performance of her professional career so far.
Well, it may be time for Angel Reese to consider taking up a different game. Tiddlywinks, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what game she wants to possibly take up. I know one thing, she can't wait for the Unrivaled season to start at this point.
Guess what? It wasn't just Angel Reese. The entire Chicago Sky squad had a night to forget. We've got the jaw-dropping stat that marks this as the worst start in WNBA history. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever made a strong comeback with a statement victory.
The Chicago Sky, you're seeing that right. 9 points in the second quarter. 9 points. Folks, if a team scores less points than you have fingers, that's bad.
You know what happens when a pro basketball player can't hit a single shot from the field? You get Angel Reese's performance against the Liberty. Actually, let's be honest, you get Angel Reese on a regular night. In this particular meltdown, she went 0 for 8 from the floor and scraped together just 2 points from free throws. That's right, 2 points. From a player who averaged 13.6 per game as a rookie.
Angel Reese, part 33. Let's get it. Only lost by 25 this time. Bang! Stat stuffer coming hot with the stats. She went 0 of 8, 5 turnovers, and she got 1 hit stick. Bang! She had 12 rebounds. 8 of them were the me-bounds, if you know what I'm saying. All right, let's get it going. How about it? Bang! Again, there's another me-bound. Let's do it again. Bang! Another me-bound. Do it again. Bang! Another me-bound. One more time. Bang! Wait, you're allowed to pass the ball?
The breakdown of what went wrong honestly reads like a comedy sketch. During one brutal possession, Angel Reese missed 4 straight shots right under the rim, grabbing her own rebound each time. Picture it. She gets the board, puts it back up, misses, grabs it again, misses, and again, and again. It was a loop so painful, even the most loyal Sky fans were questioning reality. The viral clip of the sequence had basketball fans all over social media, wondering if Reese had forgotten the most basic rule of the game: how to put the ball in the hoop.
Don't tell her when you travel, you need your real ID now! Bang! Free throws ain't free! Bang! Again! Bang! All right, brother, who at the zoo is responsible for letting the giraffes out of their habitat? How many steps was that? Traveling! Bang! Does a fly and Angel Reese have in common? They both get swatted. Bang! Green company reached out. They said, I want to sponsor you. I said, you don't have my flavor. They said, what's your flavor? I said, butter pecan. Bang! He's shooting 23% from less than 5 feet from the basket. 4 of 17 from right there. What? Throws are fundamentals. Bang! What did she do in the offseason? Bang!
These weren't tough, contested shots with defenders in her face. Angel Reese had wide open looks right under the basket. The kind high school players are expected to sink without a second thought. The kind that make coaches yell at their TVs because missing them just doesn't make sense. And yet, Reese managed to miss every single one in impressively creative fashion.
And it was Angel Reese setting women's basketball back 30,000 years at this point. I mean, truly. I would say back to the age of T-Rex, but she does get rebounds, so she can't actually rebound the ball. What she cannot do is shoot the ball at all. And the same woes from last year are back, but I'm going to point something out.
But Reese's struggles didn't stop at just shooting. She also committed 5 turnovers, throwing a wrench into any rhythm the Sky tried to build. Every time Chicago gained a sliver of momentum, Reese would either blow an easy shot or lose the ball at a crucial moment. Her body language said it all, frustration mounting with every miss until it finally boiled over with a technical foul for arguing with an official.
And another loose ball foul. They're going to give it to Angel. And this one might be challenged. We'll have to see. And Angel Reese, I think, just got slapped with a tech.
This showing ranks among the worst individual shooting nights in WNBA history, especially when you factor in the sheer number of missed gimmies. Even defense-first players usually manage to put something on the board. Going 0 for 8 is rare, and nearly unheard of when half those attempts come from point-blank range.
Okay, so now we've got a person standing in a room with a spotlight on them every time they play basketball, and the basketball's not good on top of it. It wasn't good beforehand, but guys, 26 minutes, almost 20, let's just call it 27 minutes. When you're at 26:56, we're calling it 27 minutes. 0 from 8 for the field. 8 offensive rebounds. Don't worry, we'll get to the video. 12 rebounds, 5 turnovers, 2 points.
The most embarrassing part? Despite grabbing 12 rebounds, 8 of them offensive, no one's talking about those numbers. Because when you shoot 0% from the field and finish with just 2 points, your rebounding stats don't matter. After the game, Reese tried to stay upbeat, saying she was staying poised and focused on the next shot. But this wasn't just a bad shooting night. This was the kind of disaster that fuels low-light reels and stays on forever in social media infamy. When a pro athlete makes history for being this ineffective on offense, it's clear something went seriously wrong.
That's bad. If a team scores less points than the amount of fingers you have, that is a serious issue. But Tyler Marsh, salute to you. Salute to you. You are going to ride out with this Angel Reese point forward nonsense. I most thoroughly appreciate your contribution to the WNBA. Thank you, Tyler Marsh. Thank you.
Individual struggles are one thing, but when an entire team collapses, you get a new low in WNBA history. The Chicago Sky managed to do what no team has done before: open their season with a staggering negative 60-point differential across just 2 games. Let that sink in. 60 points. They were blown out 93-58 by Indiana, then crushed 99-74 by New York. This isn't just bad basketball. This is historically awful basketball.
What record did Angel Reese break? I didn't say it was a good record. I never said that. Shout out to you, Priceless. I missed this. Historically bad shootings with a E emoji. Angel Reese goes 0 for 7 from within 4 feet of the basket to tie most misses from that distance in the WNBA over the past 10 seasons. This must be a Caitlin Clark fan at ESPN. Surely nobody who follows the ESPN playbook and narrative will write this. This had to have been a darn Caitlin Clark fan. Historically bad.
The Liberty didn't just beat Chicago. They dismantled them while making WNBA history of their own. New York sank an incredible 19 three-pointers, setting a new league record for the most threes in a single game. 19. The Sky's defense was so out of sync, Liberty shooters were getting wide-open looks from every spot on the floor. When professional players are hitting threes that effortlessly, it's not just a hot night, it's a sign your entire defensive game plan has collapsed.
All of you all that are going to go home and write a biography on how wrong this is, you guys can kick rocks. What's up, fam? Candace Parker here. I'm gonna do a tier ranking of WNBA players. I'm gonna try. Then you got Angel Reese. I put her right at that C level.
Candace Parker ranked Angel Reese as a C-tier player, sparking outrage from Reese's fans. Despite the backlash, Parker stood by her decision, backing it with stats that challenge Reese's impact. While Reese racks up double-doubles, her team keeps losing. Parker pointed out that these stats don't translate to wins, calling them empty numbers and exposing what she claims is a major overhype.
How many times have I said Angel Reese is not an impact player? I mean, she definitely has an impact on losing, but Angel Reese has absolutely no effect on winning. If you don't believe me, go ask Teresa Weatherspoon, or ask her current head coach, Tyler Marsh, who will soon be joining Teresa in the food stamp line, hoping to get enough Ethiopian breadcrumbs to make it through the winter. Or ask Candace Parker.
Candace Parker, a 2-time MVP and 7-time All-Star, ranked Angel Reese in the C tier, alongside injured rookie Cameron Brink. The internet exploded as fans expected Reese to be treated like a rising star, not a work in progress.
I think in terms of being above, you have to be able to have the ability to carry a team, be a 1 or 2 option. I think Angel Reese is fantastic at her role, which is offensive rebounding. She showed and demonstrated so much growth in that first year. I think that this is my tier.
Parker explained Reese's C tier ranking bluntly. She's a role player, not a team leader. While praising her rebounding, Parker said Reese isn't a top scoring option. Meanwhile, Aja Wilson, Nafisa Collier, and Brianna Stewart made S tier, with Caitlin Clark in A, leaving Reese among players still proving themselves.
Aja Wilson, reigning MVP, a couple Defensive Player of the Years, 2 championships. If there was something higher than S, I would definitely put her up there. But Nafisa Collier, she's up there with top tier with Aja. Just her ability to play on both sides of the ball, pump fake, she's going to make you choose wrong. I know you guys are going to say I'm biased because I'm putting all 4s at the S, but the 4s run the league. Don't ever forget that. Brianna Stewart, the versatility, reigning champion from last year. She's got 3 of them things. I don't think there's any debate with that.
Reese's fans erupted online, accusing Parker of being a hater and demanding answers. Shocked by Reese's low ranking, they saw it as pure disrespect. But Parker stayed calm, appearing on the Good Follow podcast to clarify. She said, "There's no hate on Angel Reese. I love her," stressing that her critique was strictly about basketball skills and leadership, not personal.
This is where it gets tricky. Caitlin Clark is at an A level. I think in time she's going to raise up to that S, but in order to put her at that level, you got to have a couple more years. So I'll put Kelsey Plum at the A level. 2-time champ, now took on the challenge to be number 1 option in LA. I would say KP is definitely in that tier. I would love to put Sabrina Ionescu in that A range. She got that elusive championship. She's one of the best shooters in the WNBA, if not the best shooter in the WNBA.
Parker's critique carries weight because of her unmatched credentials. She's not just another analyst. She's a proven champion with elite basketball IQ. Her rankings showed she values players who elevate teams, not just rack up stats. Caitlin Clark's tier spot reflected that, as her play has transformed the Fever's offense and shown real leadership.
Uh-oh, Candace Parker. You've upset the Reese's Pieces, and they're not happy about it. They're gonna be coming after you any second. Oh, they're already coming after you? Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Candace Parker asked to put certain players in a tier list. You have the S tier, you have the A tier, you have the B tier, and you have the C tier. And where Candace Parker put Angel Reese on this list and her explanation about it, it has upset a large number of the Reese's Pieces delegation.
Analysts quickly backed Parker's take, pointing out what many fans overlooked. Stats don't always equal impact. The big question became, what does a legend like Parker see in Reese's game that others miss? Her ranking was rooted in fundamentals, not bias, drawing a clear line between role players and true franchise leaders.
Chicago Sky, y'all stink, bro. Y'all, look, there's trash and then there's trash. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, the Chicago Sky got destroyed by the Stud Buds. Everybody watches the Stud Buds. Shout out to Courtney Williams and Tisha Heiderman, man. Listen, Stud Buds stood on business today. Nafisa Collier stood on business today. They destroyed the Chicago Sky.
The Minnesota Lynx game was a turning point. Angel Reese had 9 turnovers, exposing flaws insiders had warned about. It wasn't just a rough night. It revealed the weaknesses her double-double stats had been hiding.
This is from last night's game. Angel Reese was back to doing Angel Reese things. Blowing layups, getting her own rebounds. They've turned her into a point forward. She had 9 turnovers last night. I think her plus minus was minus 19. But all we keep hearing about, she now has 2 double-double streaks. of more than 10 games or 10 games plus. She had one last year. Now she has one this year. She's the first WNBA player to ever do this.
Early on, the Sky were holding their own against Minnesota. But then, Reese's decisions unraveled. She forced risky passes instead of taking easier options. And the turnovers stacked up. Under light pressure, her basketball IQ seemed to collapse.
Angel Reese, part 53, let's get it! We love pray-ups. I heard she went to dye her hair, and the stylist said, what color you want? And she said, butter pecan! She gets blocked by defenders who don't even bother jumping. Me bound. One more time. She almost had a triple-double. One more turnover, and she would have had it. 9 turnovers is crazy, so is a no-look poop pass. Oh no!
What made it worse were the turnovers themselves, unforced and sloppy. Passes flew over teammates' heads, travels from bad footwork, and basic ball handling errors. The Lynx didn't need elite defense. Reese was giving the ball away.
She got the brakes beaten off of her. She had 9 turnovers and was just an awful. If you watch the game, she was awful.
Coaches began using the Lynx game as a blueprint, targeting Reese with pressure to force turnovers. It worked. Teams designed plays to exploit her weakness. The 9 turnover game wasn't a fluke, but part of a season-long trend. Strong rebounding paired with costly mistakes. Reese's ball security issues were helping sink the Sky in winnable games.
Does anyone know how that party rock song goes? Every day I'm shuffling. Do, 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 do. Burn! I know it's construction season and all, but who called in the bulldozer? Burn! And it was this play right here when 2K realized, yup, that's our cover athlete. 2K? More like 75K. Pay her more! Burn! Watching her play got me fiending football. Said, oh no, it's picked off again. Burn! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Settle down. You're going too fast. You're going too fast. Hey, I got an order here. It says a hip check. Burn!
The real issue? Chicago's coaches ignored the warning signs, brushing off Reese's turnovers as growing pains while praising her double-doubles. But the losses piled up, and the 9 turnover game proved her stats weren't helping the team win. Grabbing rebounds means little if you constantly give the ball away. The Sky lost by 23, and it raised a tough question. Would fewer minutes for Reese actually help the team?
Angel Reese is the double-double queen. They got the brakes beat off of them last night by the Minnesota Lynx. Angel Reese's double-double, I think 11 points, 11 rebounds, was meaningless and insignificant.
The numbers don't lie. Chicago wins more when Reese plays under 30 minutes. This trend shatters the media narrative about her value. With less of her on the floor, the Sky move the ball better, teammates find rhythm, and the team plays like a unit instead of revolving around one player's rebound chase.
Through nearly 2 seasons in the WNBA, the only thing Angel Reese has proven is she can't win games. Angel Reese is not an impact player. She's not someone you can rely on to carry a team to a championship. The Chicago Bravado, they cannot rely on Angel Reese to secure off-season access to the Golden Toilet. Hell, she can't even get them to the playoffs. Angel Reese does not help your team win, and this is no longer just my opinion. Candace Parker feels the same way.
The data flat out contradicts the media's claims about Reese's importance. Despite the hype around her double-doubles, the Sky do better when she plays less. In games where her minutes were limited, the team rallied, ball movement improved, players stepped up, and Chicago looked sharper and more competitive against strong opponents.